I'm Charles Fernandez. I'm an actor and comedian originally from Winnipeg, which pretty much qualifies me to be a pretty heavy TV watcher. Now, the way that the news depicts the world today is a pretty scary and violent place. Now, you might hear a lot of people saying, including myself, I try not to watch the news regularly because it depresses me, and it is depressing. Hence where television comes in. Television has been the biggest representation of pulp culture for the last 50 years, I would say. And primarily it's something that the average person uses as an escape from, say, the depressing world outside, or just their day-to-day life. Now, the big question is America versus, say, Canada. I mean, it's no secret that America produces some of the biggest sitcoms and television shows in the world. I mean, now we live in a day and age where it's not even about being on TV. You have the internet and Netflix and outlets like that. So there is just hundreds of TV shows being produced, even more so than when they were just airing on TV. Networks are competing with online subscriptions, so it's a whole new age that we're really living in. But it's exciting because it's just more and more TV that we have access to. Now, a lot of American TV shows, whether it be Game of Thrones or Mad Men, Breaking Bad, I think the representation that it says about American culture is that Americans like variety, and they like to have lots of variety, and have access to it whenever they want. That's why Netflix is just blowing up. You don't have to worry about coming home anymore to make sure you're there at 5 o'clock to see the season finale of a certain episode. You have PVRs, and with something like Netflix, they upload everything all at once, and you can just binge it as much as you want. What I think that says is that basically we want what we want, when we want, all at one time. I don't think it's saying that the more violent a TV show, the more violent society is. I mean, America does have a bad rep for being a pretty violent country as it is, but I think the idea is that their TV shows are just what people want. People want excitement, or people don't live violent lives, hence why they'll invest into Breaking Bad, and they'll express all those, tense intensity and violence and whatnot through an outlet show like that. Now, with Canadian television, I mean, the majority of Canadian broadcasting is American television shows. There's no secret about that. And the few shows that are making a big name for themselves, Orphan Black is one, yes, it's set in Canada, even though it's not deliberately set in the show, but it's still an American production. Now, it's hard to say really what the representation is in Canada because we've always been underneath America, and we've always been influenced by America. Hence why most of our TV shows are broadcast from American networks. But I think Canada has a huge amount of talent, and they have just a lot of creative ideas, but for whatever reason, it's not really being expressed being Canadian made, which is something that I really think we need to work on. There's no reason that a show like Breaking Bad couldn't be made a Canadian production or even set in Canada. I mean, given the fact that the healthcare sucks in the States, and that's why that whole show went. But my point is that a show of that quality, I think that Canada has the potential to be even more intense or even more of a broadcast of good television. For whatever reason, though, we just don't seem to have the same outlets that America has. But, I mean, shows like Trailer Park Boys, which have been on over 10 years, have now made the move to Netflix and are now globally seen and loved. And it's very Canadian, and that's putting Canada on the map, which is a huge thing. But I think we need more of that. Basically what I'm getting at is that television it's not going anywhere. And if anything, it's only getting bigger and stronger. And Canada really needs to get involved and really make a big name for themselves. And there's no reason not to. There's a ton of talent in this country, and we need to start getting the right outlet to get them out and make it Canadian made.